Hello and welcome to the closed corner of the YouTube headspace. And don't even bother asking me what that is, because I won't tell you. Hey, wait. Keep those grubby hands away from that keyboard and don't even bother putting in a comment under this video, what's the closed corner of the YouTube headspace? I won't answer you. Anyway, now that I have captured your attention with my obviously pathetic excuse of a joke, I think it's about time we actually talk about what this video was about. So, have you ever been on your phone, scrolling through YouTube shorts, and come across this channel called Content Machine? You have? That's great news. But if you haven't, I don't really care. I'll talk about this channel regardless if you know who they are or not, because I want to rant about them. So let's get up to that ranting. So, what even dragged me to this channel anyway? Because they seem so innocent. So, I don't know. Nothing, right? Their humor is just for some people. This is where you're possibly right, actually. On the surface, this channel is fine. The humor is pretty bad, I'll be honest, but I guess I'm just a majority of people who just don't like that sense of humor. I can't say that for everybody, of course. And there's nothing really morally wrong with this channel. Well, not yet, really. It's just the most confusing channel I have ever seen. Accept the sudden pedophile allegations for almost every YouTube channel on this platform. But let's actually dive into their content and see what could be so possibly appealing to a huge majority of people who watch this content. So let's dive into their YouTube shorts. And yes, we will be watching their YouTube shorts specifically because I ain't doing a video about their long-term videos. Maybe if people like this video enough, I will do it and sacrifice a bunch of my time to do that. But that's still up to debate, specifically for if you guys like this or not.
This is a day in the life of a German. I wake up at 7 a.m. and immediately go outside to do my daily staring at random people. At 8 a.m. I eat breakfast, bread. Then I start my workday. I work hard so people not born in Germany can collect the Bürgergeld. At 1300 I get lunch with my girlfriend. I feel an overwhelming sense of love for her, so I express this to her with some very over-the-top PDA. At 1400 I get a fine for expressing love. Today's our anniversary, so we split the bill. Later on, I don't hold the door open for her. She is a woman. She can get it herself. Then it's time for Aldi. While driving, someone passes me on the right. This will bother me for months. At Aldi, I collect my font. I'm glad I spent 40 minutes to get refunded €1. Then I finish up my workday. At 1700, it's Feierabend. I stop working with no exceptions and drink a beer. At exactly 1900, I hit the gym to ensure that I have an elite body. Not saying that it's better than any other group of people, just saying I want to be fit. Then I get home and listen to some cool techno music. For dinner, we have bread. After a long day of strict rules and repressing our thoughts and feelings, we get dressed for kinky party.
What's a kinky party? Anyway, as you can see, they have a unique sense of humor. I'm not sure if they're trying to be offensive but funny. I guess that's kind of for you guys to also decide, but I don't know. But what sounds like to me is the skit at the very end. It gets sexual for no apparent reason. It's not even the fact that it does get sexual, it's the fact that it's all of a sudden that I did not expect it to randomly go there. It's almost if I would do something like this.
Mate, I just got some bread from the bakery. Do you want some?
Nah, mate. Let's just go slick a heroin in the back. I know. My skit might not be the best either. But it does get my point across. That this joke in general is all of a sudden. There's no build-up towards the kinky party stuff. And there's no build-up for a heroin joke. It was just all of a sudden, and there. Which can be a good thing in the right right places. There's definitely some comedians out there that use suddenness as a way to get people to laugh. And I know that definitely. I do use that as well to make other people laugh. And I know a lot of my jokes do that as well. But there's a difference between this and the jokes I say sometimes to people. Is that the jokes I say are suitable for a more mature audience sometimes, or most of the time anyway. But this content, at the very start of the video, or for a large duration, a kid could watch this and still have a little laugh, can't he? But then there's the kinky party stuff, which doesn't make sense why a kid would be exposed to that. Maybe they don't know what that means yet, but they can learn through the internet. That's the thing, is that in this day and age, even if they don't know what kinky means, they still could figure it out eventually, which can be harming. But maybe, just maybe, I'm wrong here. Maybe we just haven't been exposed to enough of their content to understand maybe this was a one-off thing. So why don't we just go ahead and watch another one and ensure that we are getting the right information?
The life of a millennial. I wake up at 7 a.m. ready to do errands. At 8 a.m. I arrive at Target. I do literally all my shopping here. Ugh, adulting can be so hard sometimes. At 10 a.m. Dana makes breakfast, waffle, eggs, and bacon! A quirky personality trait of mine is I love bacon more than anything. At 11 a.m. I did a thing and asked Dana to marry me. She's no longer my girlfriend. Now she's my wifey. After that, we celebrate by buying a house. Just kidding, we'll never be able to afford one of those. At 1 p.m. we go to the park. We avoid people at all costs. We only go for the doggos and puppers. After that, we take our daily BuzzFeed test. 35 things only 90s kids can remember. After that, we watch The Office. Maybe you heard of it. It's the best show ever made. At 5 p.m. it's dinner time, so we go to get burgers. Metal chairs, truffle fries, burgers for only $25. This place is epic bacon. At 7 p.m. it's wine o'clock. We rosé all day. After that, we binge all 7 Harry Potter films before we go to bed.
Okay, let's go. This is a step in the right direction. There's no sudden jokes, there's no misplaced jokes or sexual jokes. It has a consistent theme of the older generation acting like this, which some people can say it's for children, which I actually disagree with, because they can reference something else. If we remember a couple months ago, when Gen X was rising up and doing something that we are still not sure what they're planning to do, this can be referenced towards that. I get at least a little scoff out of Gen Z's mouth. But of course, we can't let two videos form an assumption, can we? So let's pick our third and last YouTube short to watch, and then we can make an overall summary of what I think of this channel, and maybe you guys can even tell me what you guys think of this channel down below in the comments.
Robot assistant.
And how anatomically correct are the body parts? Specifically the lower half.
I call them VR goggles, and you'll be completely immersed in whatever.
Can we get some tits on there? What do you think he's doing?
I call it the iPhone.
Could women use this to possibly send naked photos?
We'll call those nudes.
Can we get a 5x zoom on this?
I call it the internet.
Can we get tits on this thing?
I'm working on it.
He says he's working on the tits thing.
Come on! I call this the acoustic guitar.
Now, if we played this around the campfire, the ladies would remove their petticoats.
Then we can stop having sex with our horses. You guys are doing that too, right?
And I shall call it the telescope.
And I can use this to put my eyes on thy neighbor's bathing quarters?
Nay, Mercutio, I'm your neighbor.
And I call it the printing press. No longer must
Might we press an image of Jacob's wife bereft of garments?
What a splendid idea. Honey, your presence has been requested.
I call this hieroglyphics.
Maybe we can make some of the characters naked women.
To help honor the gods.
Is it done yet? Oh, it is? Okay. Right. So, this video is strikingly different from the other two. The first one had a sexual joke only at the end, and the second one had no sexual jokes at all. So, why this one? Why does this one is the only one with actual, well, video sexual, or sexual intent more like? And if you notice, in all three of these videos, they have this jingle music, which you'd mostly hear for children, wouldn't you? Probably in primary school or something. Which is the confusing part. What is the age demographic of this channel? The overexpressions and the music, you would assume it's for children, but then the jokes and humor is more directed towards a more mature audience, right? So, what makes this channel so appealing to so many people? Of course, I can't see anybody from my age, you know, enjoying this content. But I could be biased because I don't enjoy it, and I could definitely see why some people may. But there's nothing to me appealing. It's not funny, it's not offensive, and it doesn't really have that kick in it that I would enjoy. But of course, everybody's different, so I could just not like it. Of course, I do have to point out that I am cherry picking. There's a bunch of other videos, and I'm sure if you look deeper into it, you could figure something out why it's so appealing. But I do want to point out that if you look at the video we just watched, there's a couple more like them on this channel. Like, for example, I'm Old Fashioned video, where the whole video is sexual. It was actually the very first video I ever saw of them. The second video, there's another video like this I remember, where it's, I don't remember the title, but there's definitely more videos like Why Men Are the Best Inventors on this channel. Of course, I do want to say that I am not saying that they are ruining the youth, this channel, because they're not. Their content is fine, and I'm just pointing out that I'm kind of confused on what they're doing. That's all I want to say in this video. Of course, if I'm wrong in any of these points, you guys can always correct me, because I want to correct my wrongs if I do say something out of line for this channel. And of course, they're not ruining the youth. There's no links or anything that would lead them to explicit content, which I'm thankful for, because they're not taking advantage of their young minds. But they could be in some areas, and you could mistake them for taking advantage. Of course, I could be looking into it a bit too deeply, but we could make our assumption that this channel is not that appealing, but maybe some people would find it a bit funny, or at least something relatable in some areas. So I guess I could see why some people would enjoy it. For me, personally, no. I could see why maybe some 12-year-old can. But that's it. Alright, so before the Great Abyss takes over all of your social media accounts and deletes everything you may hold dear, please comment down below what should be my next topic. It could be anything from random internet drama to anime. I like both. I like video games too. It could be anything you guys want. We could even do polls if there's enough people to actually vote what they want. And of course, as you guys should already know, and I shouldn't have to remind you all, do subscribe if you do fancy seeing me again on this feed. I'm not going to force you guys to do it, of course. Oh,